Hey guys, I'm Arachnid, and today I'm going to show you how to run down to Droknar's Forge from Beacon's Perch. Um, this video is just gonna be about Lornar's Pass. Um, that's probably the most difficult part, and it takes the most finesse. Um, so I'll show you guys kind of what I'm looking out for. Um, Mainly, it's like you have to like target the casters and watch their hexes so that you know when they're trying to slow you down so that you can remove the hex. Because we don't have like shadow form or spell. We don't have like spell blocking techniques. We just remove the ones that slow us, and you can be um, sort of blindsided by a second hex that like sort of overlaps the one that you're trying to remove if you're not quick with it. So knowing when that hex hits is pretty important. So also, what's also pretty important is this Lieutenant's Insignia. Sometimes you just have to tank it. Sometimes you just gotta push on through because you can't shake the slowdowns, and that's where uh, hit points comes into play. You're going to be using these bad boys a lot. Also, I've managed to talk for so long that the Avocaro walked over here, which is a no-go, so let's give this another shot. I'm going to just start running right away. So get this Signet of Stamina up. You need HP. And start running. Target these imps. Sometimes with these imps, you just have to take it. The recast on these things is so short. This can be an unfortunate part of the run. But luckily you don't really have to aggro imps very much in this run aside from right there. Oh, muddy terrain also. That thing that Pine Soul put down. Those guys are rangers, and they will screw you up if you're not careful. So, here, you just want to, like, not deal with this if you can. So, like, let's just go this way. The other ways of running this are definitely faster and safer, but this is like the old school warrior build. This is how we all used to do it back in the day. This is how I learned how to do it. So if you come up here on the right, you have to use anti-knockdown because there's a worm up here. But if these guys aren't here, you can walk straight down the path and avoid that worm. Oh, we got lucky. You need anti-knockdown at the beginning of this cave because of that worm right there. And you need anti-knockdown for the ice golems that are coming up. If you can, and you're not feeling comfortable, sometimes you get this little respite right here, this little break window, and this is a pretty mild pack right here. What you gotta do is when you take the pack on, you don't back off, because if those Pine Souls throw down the muddy terrain, that'll just, you won't go anywhere with that stuff. So can't see over the ridge yet, but I'm sure there's another pack of ice golems down there. I'm going to target the one that's closest to me that I think is going to start casting Deep Freeze. Throw up Holy Veil. This guy right here, I think that's the one. Alright. This guy's the one. Alright. Get that Deep Freeze. Get that mother... get out of there. And then... just run over here, try and de-aggro. That's another pack of ice golems over there. So we want to try and, like, completely de-aggro because we got, what's it called? These Grawl Crones that are in this group, they will rip Holy Veil off and, like, make you bleed and stuff. So we want to try and avoid aggroing Grawl and ice golems at the same time. So if we can, we want to like sort of split it up like this. And let's see if I can finagle this. If we absolutely must, we can. We wouldn't want to put up Holy Veil. Yeah, let's just do that. So let's get in there. I am unstoppable. Let's target this Ice Golem. There's Deep Freeze. There, let's get that off before Rust goes on. That's what I was talking about. There's the other Deep Freeze. Get Veil off immediately. They're not going to cast Deep Freeze again for a while. There was only 2 Ice Golems in there, but that Muddy Terrain is up, so we're kind of stuck in the mud. There we go. Now we can get the heck out of here. So that was like the first part of the puzzle. Each little piece of this run is like a puzzle. The Mountain Trolls, they can body block you. So when you're going through, if you do these little wiggle steps, they can help. I don't know. I feel like it helps the server like re-identify where you are. Where's this muddy terrain coming from? That's weird. Anyway, so that usually helps me avoid getting body blocked, but try not to like get too close to them. So this part right here, you need anti-knockdown the whole way. This whole little loop thing here, because there's worms all over the place. Just rotate between balanced stance and I am unstoppable and keep your run buffs up. When the Grolls are alone, they're not scary. It's when they're with the Ice Golems that they're scary. Also, if you're running through this part and you have to choose between having balanced stance up and sprint up, just keep balanced stance up. You can do charge and balanced stance at the same time, because charge is not a stance. But you can't do sprint and balanced stance at the same time. Okay, we're almost out of the woods here. I think we'll be able to... Let's see. There's another tough part coming up. It can kind of be hairy up here, depending on how the groups are laid out. Just always be checking around with whatever this button is that checks the mobs. So there's a group of golems over there on the left. There's 3 of them. That's a lot. We could probably just hug this wall and just like not deal with them. There's the Grolls, so let's make sure that he doesn't cast. All right, so we can actually just go this way and just avoid that golem pack entirely, I think. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, we are groovy. So if these guys are mixed up, you got to start getting creative, kind of like how I did earlier. That's sort of the idea. You can't just run in willy-nilly. You have to sort of... Okay, great. Those guys over there on the corner could be in this area right here. And if they're mixed in with these Grolls, it's a big problem. You got to be real careful. But they had a good spot this time. But anyway, that's what I'm talking about. Like, try not to aggro them together. Aggro them one at a time. You'd rather aggro Grolls than the Ice Golems. But if you just aggro Ice Golems by themselves, it's not that big of a deal. You can take care of it by just watching the hexes and making sure that you're not letting Rust go on top of Deep Freeze, because you need to get Deep Freeze off immediately. If there's only 2 Ice Golems, remove Hex and Veil will do you, because the cooldown on Deep Freeze is pretty long, and you'll be able to get away from them before they cast it again. If there's 3, then you'll be able to take Veil off, use remove Hex for the second Deep Freeze, and then throw Veil on and then remove it immediately for the third Deep Freeze if you need to. So you can deal with 3 Ice Golem packs, but they are tougher. I think I'm going to stop the video here and maybe upload another one for this next area. What's this place called? Dreadnought's Drift. It's pretty easy. You just stay to the right and just run through. It's a really small area. Super tiny. All right. See you guys in the next one.